heard the tornado sirens go off immediately, and on the news they said, a tornado is headed toward Vilonia. Go ahead and take shelter. And they said, Vilonia, you need to be in your shelters immediately. It's going to be on top of you. Right after he said that, all the electricity and everything went out. Everything went silent, and then you could hear the tornado coming. If it was like being in a vacuum cleaner that was 10 times as powerful. The sound was unbelievable. And all you could see, there was no lights, all the electricity was out. All you could see were the emergency response crew lights, police lights, and ambulance lights. That's what was lighting up the sky. And at that point, we knew our facility and our house had probably sustained significant damage. We actually had to go all the way around town. The first place we made it to was the new middle school, which was a $14 million project, which was basically taken to the ground. When we drove down here and we could see the damage, Freddie and I, our hearts just sunk. We knew that there had been damage to the property. We didn't know how extensive. We saw the church. We were devastated. Well, I knew the day of, no matter what, we were going to have service the next Sunday. And the bishop said to me, well, let our office take care of it. And so he got in contact with Todd.
We need to help Vilonia United Methodist Church find a temporary location to worship in.
But as far as the timeline goes, I was thinking it could be a month, 2 months, who knows. We didn't even know what the options actually were. We're going to need a long-term plan, and I don't know where to begin with that.
Well, there wasn't a building we can use. There's not a building in town we can use. We were looking at about a 2,400 square foot big room. We also needed some restroom facilities because the buildings here were destroyed. We needed a couple of small rooms for a nursery.
Then he started looking at modular buildings, and it really became the best option.
Other companies that I talked to, we were looking at 6 weeks to 2 months to get something in place, and we just didn't have that kind of time. We needed something in place as soon as possible.
Then Todd found satellite shelters, and I thought, we really have an option to have worship.
Satellite Shelters is the first one that I talked to who understood that time was the critical issue here. I just got the sense that this is what they do.
I was astounded, blown away by how quick it actually happened, and even how good it actually looked. You think of a modular building, you think, oh, you think of a trailer. In Arkansas, we have plenty of those, but this was a viable facility that was in great condition, and I knew our church members would be proud to be in it. Our altar table, which sits behind us, it had been crushed in the storm. A steel beam went through the top of it, and we had a volunteer crew that came and repaired it completely. And so to pull it into this space that used to be a completely different type of building, an old facility used to train folks, and now to wheel an altar into it and it become a worship space. I'll never forget that day.
We were able to come back in June 1st and start and have a wonderful worship service.
It felt like the first day of school, and is everything ready? Is everything in place? And then people started showing up and they started saying, "This looks wonderful. I'm so happy we have a place to come, and I can't believe we can fit everyone in here."
The service I received from satellite shelters was by far the greatest asset.
At a time when people were being taken advantage of in our community, satellite shelters taught us we could trust someone and be treated professionally, and we really appreciated it.